Matthew, I got to tell you, so we're here on the state capitol grounds. You grew up here. You went to school here. What is it about Texas that keeps you here?
I particularly like my sense of time here, meaning there's some places where I feel like I'm ahead of time. There's some places I feel like I'm behind time. When I'm in Texas, I feel like I'm on time. A mile feels like a mile. An hour feels like an hour. People got a good amount of common sense, but still a very progressive spirit. It's a really self-reliant state. It's a state full of people that, you know, in times like we've been going through, are quick to pull up their bootstraps and say, let's deal. That's what Texas does really well. Texans and Texans, when there's a problem, they quickly say, let's deal. That's part of the resilience I like about it. That and the fact that my family's all spread out across the state. So 5 hours one way, 9 hours another way, we can all get together.
And is that why, you know, when somebody reaches your level of success, especially in Hollywood, they tend to decamp from where they grew up and move out, you know, but you're still here.
Yeah, well, I'm here. I guess people do decamp. I can go anywhere I want. Sure. I'm living a life where I can live wherever I want. I choose to live here. I'm as creative as I can be here. At the same time, I have a lot of tradition here. Now, it's hard to find places where you can feel very creative and progressive, but also feel your roots and your feet on the ground. So I have a lot of history here. But at the same time, I have fresh thoughts here. I'm able to feel how the world's turning, you know, not just here in Texas, but around the globe. So, you know, my kids like it too. I wanted my kids to grow up here, the closer to the way I grew up. My mom's still here. She's 89. That's another big reason. You know, how many more years does she have? So we're with her constantly now. But even in non-COVID times, we see her every weekend. And it's important to me to stay close to my family.
Yeah, you talk about it. So it's been a year since we've been dealing with this pandemic. And then this winter storm hits. Yeah. When you think, you didn't think things could get worse, this storm hits. What was that like?
Well, look, everyone was already somewhat paralyzed from COVID. They were already drawn, they had to go stay in homes, they couldn't go out and engage freely. So the very places of refuge that so many people had, their homes, got hit by this storm. The power goes out. Then you can't heat, so the water pipe's full, they bust. That's the real problem that we have now that we've got to fix, that Texas was not ready for. Like, we can deal with 117-degree summers. We're good in heat. We deal with tornadoes. But boy, water damage now, it's an invisible problem. It's not like fires or a tornado or a hurricane. You don't drive down a street and see the graphic problem from the street, but go inside the front door of so many houses and businesses. Now you're seeing all the water damage that needs to be fixed. You're seeing people that need clean water that don't have it. You're seeing people that need food. You're seeing people that are out of their houses because their houses are uninhabitable. You're seeing more and more young men and women and kids that are unable to go back to school. So there's a lot of damage that has to be repaired now from this winter storm, the worst one in 70 years that we just had, that people are going to need help for a while. And I want to say this about, when you bring up the first question about why I love Texas, the help that we're going to try and give people now in Texas that were hurt from this freeze, they already want to help themselves. But a lot of them aren't able to do that. So that's why they're going to need some help now. There are some people that want to help themselves but cannot right now that we want to help out.
Yeah, we're about a month out from that storm hitting. What are things like on the ground now?
From that storm, it's still very vital and very relevant right now. I mean, we don't want it to become page 14 news just yet, because people are in real needs right now. It's not like, okay, the freeze came, the cold weather's gone, it's a beautiful 70-degree day now, and hey, everything's okay, because no, it's not. Again, it's behind the walls, it's behind the front doors of these houses where the damage is. That's where the damage is, where mothers and fathers and kids and families cannot go live in that house anymore because of the water damage. That's where people are still on having to boil water right now. My house.
Does that blow your mind? The idea that in this day and age, this is happening right now?
I have to say it doesn't blow my mind. One of my least favorite words is unbelievable. And the last year and a half has proved why that word doesn't make much sense. So, you know, again, on top of COVID, you get a freeze like this, you go, are you kidding me? Really? Now? Again? Well, you know, once it's happened, it's inevitable, it's happened. So how do we get relative and deal with it? We have to learn from this as well, because there are ways and actions we can take so this doesn't happen again. And, you know, is it a surprise that we have the worst freeze in 70 years? Well, hell yeah, it's a surprise. But there are surprises every single day like we've never seen before happening. And so in that way, no, it doesn't blow my mind. It's just another reason to go, well, let's pull up our bootstraps and handle it how we can.
Well, to that end, you and Camilla have always been, you know, Texas forward. You've always helped people. And now you've got this virtual concert, We're Texas. How did that come about?
That came about from Camilla. I was head down in a project, really committed to it, and really wasn't checking out the news that much. And she came to me and she says, look, I just talked to the First Lady. It looks like power's coming back in Texas, but water damage is going to be around for a while. And I thought about it. And she said, you know, we need to do something. And I looked up and I was like, yeah, Texas is going to need plumbers for a while. It's going to need people to fix the water damage. So we said, you know what? Let's throw a benefit. We got great musicians in Texas. Let's get a bunch of great musicians. Let's get some great leaders. Let's get some great faces, some great Texas businesses. Have Texas neighbors helping out their Texas neighbors. Let's broadcast it to the world and say, hey, we're Texas. We need some help right now. We need a helping hand. We're not looking for a handout, but we need a helping hand. So let's go have a night of restoration and a night of revival. I'm going to host it. I'm going to DJ it. I'm going to intro bands, outro bands, rap myself, and say what all kinds of things. Oh, I won't be able to help it. I'll have to rap somehow.
I will tune in for that.
I'll rhyme something. I may not know it, but I'll rhyme something.
So you open up your phone, you start calling some friends. Who's going to participate?
So we got about 15 Texas musicians, from George Strait to Willie Nelson to Lucas Nelson to Post Malone to Kacey Musgraves, Miranda Lambert to Don Henley, and many more. Gary Clark Jr. here from Austin, Leon Bridges. Great lineup of Texas musicians. We also have a lot of businesses that have come in that are Texas businesses that are donating large sums early to really help this cause go. We got companies like Reliant Energy, Dell, Salesforce came in and made big underwriting donations to help us get a foundation for the benefit. And then everybody, the great thing is everybody I've called, within the first 2 minutes, I'm in. Hadn't had to call anybody back. I'm in. So Texas is really rallying around helping out the people that are going to need it.
And in fact, during this concert, we're going to meet some of those people who need the help.
We are going to meet quite a few of those people. We've got some wonderful stories. The hard part was saying, which stories do we tell within this 3-hour benefit? We tried to, you know, all of Texas, people all over Texas are hurt. They're hurt in the urban areas. They're hurt in the rural areas. Businesses in Houston are hurt. Homes in Austin are hurt. Farmers and ranchers are hurt in West Texas and in North Texas. The freeze, it hurt a lot of different people across the board in many different ways.
When you do something like this, how does it affect you? What does it give you?
You know what it gives me, Al? I have a privileged life. I have 3 children, I have a family, I have a career, I have purpose. But something like this happens, purpose comes in with a capital P. Okay, call to action. It's like, it makes a lot of things that I may worry about in my life, I'm inconsiderate to them all of a sudden. I'm like, no, okay, we've got a non-negotiable thing that we need to do that we know is an asset, we know needs to be done. So people need to be helped. They can use the help, and we can help them. Let's use the platform. Let's let's rally the troops, call to arms, let's get it done. So it's a capital P sense of purpose that comes when something like this happens.
You know, as I mentioned, we've been living through this pandemic. You know, and we know all the negative things. What are some of the positives?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot. And again, when I say these do not deny the tragedy of the pandemic and the at least fact that all of us have had an awkward time. And the assets are many. We've been forced to do inventory on ourselves. That's a good thing. We usually don't plan to do that ourselves unless we're forced to do that. We've been forced to be around our families more. I, for instance, my grandkids have been around their grandmother every day for 12 months. That wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have done that. We spend more time in the kitchen cooking meals. We spend more time petting the dogs. There are people, I've even heard stories that in remote contact, that children are actually breaking through barriers with their parents that they wouldn't have been able to do in person, that they never did do in person, that now even remotely they're getting more intimate. So there are a lot of assets. We'll look back. I have full belief that we'll look back at 2020 and however much into 2021 as a green light year, as a year that, we were forced to reevaluate. We were forced to put in different order what it is we value. We've been forced to. Our floor has been shook. And I don't see how we can come out of this snapping right back to the same old way we used to be. I think we've got a way of coming out of this and saying, you know what, I've recalibrated what I value and the order of my values in life, and that's a good thing for us to have to do, and we just had to be forced to do it in an awkward way.
Do you think, in a sense, that this storm has made people reevaluate on top of what they've had to do with the pandemic, what it means to be of service to other people and their community?
Well, that's the main goal. What I hope comes out of like this benefit that we're throwing and this storm, just when you think, oh, it couldn't get any worse, something like this happens. Yep, here we are. Here it is. Something happened again. We cannot relax and then go, oh, look, if we're in the helping people out, if everyone says we're in the helping hand business, we all got really good job security. Something's going to happen and people need some help all the time. So it's a constant, it's not like it's a seasonal thing. Yeah. And the storm reminds us that it's a daily thing. And when we, as a people, start to incorporate that into, hey, that's part of my daily life. It's on my docket. It's on my proverbial desk to see how maybe I can help somebody else out. We're going to be a better people that way. So the freeze is just another reminder that if we're in the helping hand business, we all got good job security.
During this past year, what's the one thing maybe you discovered about yourself that surprised you?
The one thing I discovered about myself that surprised me. Well, I adapt pretty quickly to sort of blooming where I'm planted, as my mom would say. Like as soon as it became clear that we had my mother, who's 89, and that was who we needed to keep safe because she was the most susceptible, and she has most susceptible to COVID. That became, again, a non-negotiable, clear purpose. Okay, every decision you make, Matthew, needs to be to protect your mother the best you can. And that meant I didn't see a lot of my friends. I don't go out that much at all. This is one of my first ventures out behind my walls I've had in months. So we've been able, look, relatively speaking, I'm in a good position during the pandemic. My pantry's been full. I haven't had to work today to pay my rent tomorrow like so many people have. So I guess the fact that myself and my family tried to make the best of it so quickly. I'm not saying that surprised me, but I think we were pretty agile and adaptable, being able to do that and say, hey, we're going to look at what's positive of this. We're going to go through the hard parts. And like I was telling you before offline, every couple of weeks, let's get together and have dinner and everyone cuss about what sucks about this situation. Let's just have it out. And then after we do that, let's get back on to what is the positive about this. We have the ability to remote learn. Your father doesn't have to work today to pay the rent tomorrow. Our pantry is full. We actually have running water and had good, clean running water before the storm. You know, so it's been a good reminder to respect some things that maybe I took for granted. And I think that's across the board. I think everyone's been reminded to be thankful and have some gratitude for some things that maybe we took for granted beforehand.
I saw this video, this lovely woman that you have a relationship, Miss Jessie.
We love you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, we're gonna miss you this year.
I miss you all too. I love you. We want you to run for governor. Want you to run for governor.
Tell me about Miss Jessie.
Miss Jessie, quite a few years ago, when Camilla and I and the kids were going to give Meals on Wheels meals away on Thanksgiving, she was on our list, and we went over and met Miss Jessie May and fell in love with her immediately. And so each year when we go back to go deliver meals, we're always like, make sure Miss Jessie's on our list, right? So we've taken meals each year at Thanksgiving and continue to drop by from time to time to check on her. Wonderful spirit. Talk about when I was talking earlier about Texan spirit of Texans are self-reliant and want to help themselves, even though we're in a time right now where many of those people need help so they can help themselves. She's a great example of that. She's got stories, and it takes you in her house and her husband who's no longer with her and her family. And you know what she says? You know, I said, Miss Jessie, I said, what do you miss? She goes, oh, honey, I miss a good parade. I really do miss a good parade. That's all she's asking for, that she misses not seeing much anymore. A parade. She's a bright light. She's a really, really bright light.
Well, you know, one of the things, I was watching a video of her, she said she thinks you should run for governor.
I saw that video.
Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, you are, correct me if I'm wrong, you are considering running for Texas governor?
Look, it's a very honorable consideration. So am I considering that? Sure, it's a great thing and an honorable thing to be able to consider. What I've got to choose for myself is I want to get into a leadership role in the next chapter of my life. Now, what role am I going to be most useful in? I don't know that that's in a political position or if that's me as a free agent. It might be me as a free agent. So that's something I'm personally working on, is what is my position of most use in a leadership role? Because
there is a precedence for an actor becoming governor of a major state.
Yeah, it wouldn't be because I'm an actor.
So there's no announcement you'd like to make this morning on today.
The announcement I'd like to make today is that on the 21st of March 2021 at 7 p.m. Central Time on my YouTube channel, you're going to see a revival and a restoration of people coming together to help out Texans that were hurt and lost food and clean water and the ability to live in their own houses. We're going to come together. We're going to help out our neighbors here in Texas, and we're inviting the world to come in and help us out as well. It's going to be a shindig.
I haven't heard that word in a while.
Shindig?
Shindig.
I haven't heard it either. It just came out. See, I told you I'd rap somehow.
Shindig. Well, for my money, I would love to see you run. So, yeah.
Well, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.